he asked me to stand up, and he begins to speak a word of prophecy over me. He says, Jonathan, the Lord's going to give you the gift of discerning of spirits. He's called you as a seer, which I didn't know what that was at the time. And he said, you're going to begin to discern spirits more than you ever wanted to, which at that point I had never wanted to, so anything would have been impressive. Yeah. So instantly I had this impartation where I received this prophetic word, and it started to happen. I started to see things.
What was the first thing you remember seeing?
I remember seeing a bookshelf that was in my house and seeing fire on it. And as I went over to it, the Lord told me there were specific books on there that I needed to read. And so I began to pull them down, and they were from different leaders that taught on the prophetic, taught on discerning of spirits. And the Lord was guiding me into the books that I needed to grow and learn in this gift at that time. Overwhelmed. I was seeing stuff all the time. And I'd walk down the street and I'd see serpents wrapped around certain buildings, or demonic beings on top of certain buildings.
And you were seeing things and probably didn't really understand what you were seeing.
As much as I could, I stayed home. I was so overwhelmed.
Were you afraid?
I was not enjoying this experience, definitely. Yes, it was quite overwhelming, quite scary. And if I went to a store, I'd see objects stuck in people at times, swords, spears, arrows, and I didn't understand what I was seeing. So I kept reading, asking the Lord, what is it that I'm encountering here? I'd go to services where there was worship going on, and if the worship got cut off, like if the speaker comes up to share, and the worship got cut off at a time when it shouldn't have, I would see angels crying.
Really? You know, that happens a lot. I mean, I haven't seen the angels cry, but I know when the things are, you know, it's just we got too much to do.
Definitely, definitely. And so...
could you tell by just walking down the street if someone was a believer or not?
Yes, that was one of the most clear things, is that there would be a radiant light that shined behind a believer. It was like it shined out in all directions. And you could tell who a believer was because they carried the glory of God. And you could tell who a non-believer was because there was like a veil of darkness around them. It says in Corinthians that the God of this age has veiled the eyes of the unbeliever. There's literally a veil that surrounds an unbeliever. And so when I look at an individual on the street, if they're a believer who is being oppressed by depression or sickness,